We're going to try it again. Good morning, everyone. Sounds better, but I'm going to teach you something. And it's called the UJ way. So I say, UJ, all the way. UJ, all the way. UJ, all the way. You all belong to be part of stuff. Without wasting any time, I'd like to call upon our guests. I will introduce myself. Firstly, I'd like to call our grade 9 learners, Chantal and Kayleen. Are you getting worried? She's too tall for grade 9, eh? Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to call Rashmika Singh from Saket. Now, I need to be careful because I was going to say my next 2 favorite people, but these are all my favorite. Next, I'd like to call Professor Kondia from the... Thanks, sir. And last but not least, Professor Graham. Thank you very much. To start proceedings, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Lesego Legwete. I'm part of the student marketing team, and this team is the one that's responsible for inviting you. And with that being said, before we start our day, I'm going to ask you, our future UJ graduates, yes, I heard myself, future UJ graduates, I'm going to ask you to please participate in this exercise, please. I'd like you to please show me the number 3 with your fingers, please. Dee, can I please have the lights? I want to see, I need my guests here to also help me out. Okay, from where I'm standing, I see the majority doing this, right? Okay, I know there's someone with a different DNA, but it's okay. Let's join the majority. Now there's 3 fingers and a 0 right there. Correct? Can we please take the 0 and please put it on our chin? Okay, I won't tell you what your teacher or your mom did. For those of us that did not get it, what part of the body is this? And this one? Oh, okay. That being said, listening is a very important skill. Going forward, we are going to need to be attentive because whatever that we're going to be sharing, it's going to be very important. Right, without wasting any time, I'm going to ask our guests, Chantal and Kayleen, can you please just introduce yourselves to us? And let's start with you, Chantal.
Yeah, okay. Hi everyone. My name is Chantal. I'm from Bukamusa Secondary School, and I'm happy to be here joining you guys on this discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name's Kaylin, and I went to Rand Park High School. I don't know if anybody here did, but it's nice to see you all, and I can't wait to have this discussion with you. So,
So, Kaylin, you are a grade 9 learner.
totally. Don't I look like a grade 9?
Play nicely now. Perhaps you should tell me, or at least tell us, what makes you think this process is very important? And what are your influences? What do you like about this process that we're about to go?
Picking subjects, the process of.
Correct.
Okay, so as a grade 9, I am very stressed about what subjects to pick because it seems like there's so many choices and everyone's telling you, oh, it's going to impact your career so much, and whether you take science or accounting, it matters. But for me, what I really had to think about was that I, at the time, well, now, I didn't really know what to do. And I just had to think, okay, what is going to best prepare me for the future, even though right now I'm not 100% sure. And I don't think the average grade 9 is 100% sure about what they want to do in the future. And that is a journey you go down throughout high school. And I think if you pick your subjects right, you have the space to explore different career opportunities and stuff like that. So
We'll get there just now. Just hold that thought, thank you. What about you, Chantal?
I'm so sorry.
I think you're being sabotaged. Let's swap.
I have to agree with Caitlin, definitely. I was also like, let me put it this way. Actually, I am now like thinking that the subjects that I'm about to choose are the wrong subjects for me. They're definitely not the ones that I should be taking, especially when I look at my personality and I try to compare like which one would be suitable for me. Like, it's not an easy decision to make, especially from the school that I come from, and everyone has high hopes in you, and then they believe in you, and they think that this one is the best for you, but then you know yourself very well, and you feel as if, like, this one should be the best, but then I think also it's a problem when it comes to, like, trying to please others and also thinking of what is best for you.
With that being said, I'm going to then ask Rashmika, these are the type of individuals that you like dealing with, and you like them confused as the two grade 9 learners that we like. Can you please tell us a bit about yourself, and how would you then play a role when it comes to Chantal and Kaylin? Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Okay, so to introduce myself, I work at the University of Johannesburg at our Student Counseling Center. And we offer a range of services such as counseling and career services. My profession is a psychologist. And how I would come in here is either through some form of subject choice assessment or through having discussions and counseling. What that would entail so let me start with an assessment. And a subject choice assessment is what grade 9 learners would do before they picked their subjects. And what it is, it's a formal series of different assessments that they would do that would help them choose a career path or possible subjects that would keep as many doors open, that would align with their interests, their personalities, the goals that they have, and their aptitude. So your abilities, so it will look at how you're performing, where your strengths, your weaknesses, your areas of development are. And I use the word area of development because you're only in grade 9. You still have a lot of schooling ahead of you. So don't think that you shouldn't choose a subject because you're not doing well in it. If you feel like you have an interest, you can always access support to improve. And then if by matric you're not doing well in that certain subject after trying really hard, then you know not to choose a career path or apply for a course in university that has that subject. And then career counseling would just be talking to you, getting to know you, advising you on what channels to follow.
Thanks a lot. I'm already confused by what you've just said. Because clearly it means there's quite a lot that needs to happen to get to eventually where you need to get to in terms of, A, choosing the subjects that's going to, Kaylin spoke about the future. So we'll come back to that. Prof. Kondia, we're speaking about the future. Perhaps I know you represent the STEM, which is the science, technology, engineering, and management. What does the future actually hold in terms of you've got these young individuals, and how does making the right choices based on subjects, including the psychometric testing and the advice, what makes this such an important question and process in that we need to know what the future actually holds? Maybe you could give us a bit of your insight there.
Thank you so much for that. So I am Kulsum Kandia. I am the Vice Dean Teaching and Learning in the Faculty of Science. It's a very fancy title. I'm just an average human being. But I am here to maybe just give a little bit of insight on, if you're thinking about the STEM subjects, what does it mean when you come into university? What kind of career choices are you looking at? What kind of subjects do you need to focus on? And where does it lead in the future in terms of getting you ready for the world of work and how we can make you employable in the future in terms of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So sometimes we might feel we want to be an astrophysicist, for example, but we don't really know what that means. We just think it's going out into space, but it could be something completely different. So I'm here to just shine a light on that and also to maybe just have a message for the parents in terms of the subject choice is a collaborative exercise, and I think it's very important for parents and learners to work together, especially at this point in time. So that's where I come in.
Thanks a lot. That's for those of us that are likely to follow the math science route. What about those of us that are not interested or at least struggling in the maths stream? Professor Graham, maybe you could shed a bit of light on that front, please.
Okay, so not all of us are maths geniuses, and not all of us can understand accountancy or business or anything like that, or science and work in labs. We'll probably blow ourselves up if we tried. It's not our area. But the social sciences is a big area and still continues to be an area where people are employable. So I think the key thing for parents right now is your child will be able to get employed if they work hard and they choose a social science subject that leads to a humanities qualification, for example, at higher education level, so in universities. So the big question on everybody's lips today is, isn't AI going to take everybody's jobs, even in science and even in the humanities and social sciences? But it's not that at all. It's not AI that's going to take a job away from you. It's going to be another human being who knows how to use AI better than you that's going to take your job away from you. So try and absorb that and think to yourself, at the end of the day, technology is evolving, human beings are evolving, they're always going to need each other. So you have to be better at playing the game and make sure you have the necessary human skills to make it going forward, and you get human skills practiced every day in social sciences. because they're the subjects that make you deal with human beings, make you deal with problem solving in practical ways with empathy and compassion, reasonable thinking, critical thinking, adaptability, flexibility, thinking on your feet, responding to human crises. So don't think to yourself in a limited way that even though you can't do pure maths and your parents are forcing you to do maths, you must do maths literacy, that you won't be able to do a job that involves maths later on in life. You just have to think slightly outside the box. If you think about my own career path for a second, in grade 9, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do, not a clue. I knew that I liked working hard and I liked all the subjects I took, all 10 or 11 of them or something. But in the end, I decided to choose biology, as it was known then, life sciences to you. I decided to choose pure maths, French, history, English, so just a wide range of choices, because I thought if I choose differently, then maybe I'll be able to get into university and choose whatever I want by the time I reach that level. In matric, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. The first day of university, I had no clue. I was wandering around the halls of this institution, listening to different people selling their wares, and decided to fall into journalism. I fell into a journalism degree, ended up taking my second major forward in politics, became a lecturer in political science, then a vice dean in the humanities, and now senior director in academic development and support, which is non-academic. So I'm just suggesting that you never really know where you're going to be led eventually. But what I can say as a consistent element was I loved everything I did along the way. And that's what kept me going, my instinct, my gut instinct. Am I enjoying what I'm involved in? And am I learning and continuing to learn? So the humanities and social sciences are good choices for you if you feel you can't neatly fit within science or pure maths. Choose other things then. Go for social sciences. You never know where it's going to take you. And at the end of the day, humanities students are being employed by Deloitte, etc., chartered accountancy firms, when they've never done accountancy in their lives before, because they know how to deal with people and not just numbers. So just an eye-opener, hopefully.
Okay, I think I need to go back to grade 9. Maybe I'll make a better career choice. But yeah, I mean, nowadays, and you can tell me, Chantal, I think majority of your age group relies on too much on AI. And what's the impact and what's the influence if you listen to what the professor have just had to tell us?
I think like it has both the negative and positive impacts. So if AI is used correctly, especially in the age group that I'm in, if I use AI correctly, especially if I want a clear direction on which career path I want to take or which subject choices would be good for me, if I could use it correctly, then I definitely, like as Mr.
Professor?
I'm so sorry. As she said, that the test, like personality test that you could take. So I feel as if I could use AI to do to take such tests, it would be much easier for me to figure out which subject that I should take, or like which subject choices I should make, and also the point that was spoken was that. Choosing subject choices are also a collaborative, let me say teamwork in a way, because it's between my parents and I. So I feel as if my parents could actually understand me more better about, like, especially with the person that I am and the kind of career that I want to take, not what they expect of me. I feel like if I could take those tests and they could see that, no, my child is actually this kind of a person, then it would be much easier for them to actually give me the support that I need to pursue what I want.
So when did this process all start?
Which process?
Thinking about the future. Because I think, let's be honest, we see our parents driving these fancy cars, living this life, but you don't comprehend that there's actually hard work. The process where, as Prof. Graham said, I came to university, I was clueless, so to speak. and I found myself in the swimming pool of too many options. When did you realize that there were so many options in your life, Chantal?
I would say like at the beginning of my grade 9. So I realized that I would hear like most of my grade 10 friends or people that I know from like the other grades, upper grades, and also people whom I know or I'm related to who are in varsity, they would tell you that, oh, I'm doing such and such. And then when you actually like Google or use AI to search maybe and about those career fields, you actually find that there's multiple like careers that some of them you don't even know anything about. So that is when I realized that, you know, it actually like there's a lot that I could choose from, and it probably would get very much confusing for me unless if I find someone who can explain it to me. Because, okay, not that I don't think that AI, I could actually rely on it and get the answers that I need from it.
You didn't have AI in your days. You had Google.
Yes, I do have Google. Yes. So it wouldn't. One thing I realized is that even though like it would give me the definitions of what those careers are, but then I needed someone, maybe an expert in that field, to actually tell me that, you know what this is all about, and then this is what you're going to do, this is what is going to be expected of you, and like going on Google and then researching about it and only getting like tidbits of it. So yeah.
Kayleen, who are your influence and what are your influences? What type of discussions are you having with your parents, with your friends, whether these professionals that are sitting with us? Maybe you could also shed a bit of light and help our friends who are attending.
Well, for me, I always enjoyed the science sort of subject. So I didn't know exactly what I wanted to go into. I had cousins in the same high school as me, and I saw what subjects they were doing, and I tried to take inspiration from them, saw if they were managing, what they struggled with. And in terms of conversations with my parents, they were very understanding, but they always reiterated that whatever you choose, you must enjoy enough to work hard, because if you don't like it, you're not going to work at it. And the second thing they said is, even if you don't know what you want to do now, you must open these doors for yourself in the future, because, and this is a motto I stand by, is, will my future self thank me? And I always, everything I do, I'm like, oh, if I don't do it now, me in the future, I'm going to be so disappointed in myself. So do what you know you can and what you have an interest in. And even if you have doubts that you can't do it, I think it's important to try and work hard at it, because, you know, it'll be worth it. Because I had doubts about taking science, and I was actually like considering not doing it at all. And I'm like, oh, but science will open so many doors for me, and I know it's the route that I love and I enjoy. And if I hadn't taken science, I don't know where I would have been today. And I think that applies to history or accounting. Even if you're scared of taking that subject, if you know that your heart is going to love that journey, then you might as well try, because you in the future, you might just thank your past self for taking history, taking IT. So I definitely listen to your heart, and whatever your family thinks, it's good to get their input, because they would want what's best for you. And if you walk them through your thought process, then it is really a blessing to have them on your side.
Now, not many of us are lucky to have parents who are able to talk to us in the way that your parents did. Rashmika, Prof. Kondia, and Prof. Graham, how do we, as the young Chantal and Kayleen said, it's about passion, it's about love. But there's this conflict of love for wanting to do something and also speaking about the future. And I think most of us are more interested in the money. How do we match that? And how do we make sure that the parent and the learner get to speak in one voice? And maybe I should start with you, Prof. Graham.
Yeah, that's a very difficult one, because at the end of the day, it's your life. And and you have to worry about yourself. But you don't know everything, and you'll never know everything. So you have to get inputs. And if you don't have the luxury of trusted parents in your life that can help you with that input, then you have to find another adult that can. Somebody who's experienced and practiced, who has world experience in life with a real job, who can say to you, this is my story and this is the advice, I can suggest this or that. So a teacher at your school, somebody you trust, or an older brother or sister who you can speak to in your family, or somebody in your church environment, or somebody in another community that you're part of, that you can trust, most importantly, to give you proper advice. I think that's the first thing. And the second thing is that you never know what's going to happen in life. So you can't just assume, or, we can all dream that we'll be very wealthy one day and we'll have all the cars we need and we'll have all the money we need. But you know the saying, even though money makes the world go round, it doesn't buy you happiness. What you should think about is, how happy do I want to be? The more money you have, the more tax you have to pay, the more concerns you have on your table. So maybe just be happy with just enough to be happily living a good quality life. So maybe try not to worry so much about that and think about investing and giving back to the world around you, and then the universe will provide and give you all you need to live a happy life. Rather focus on being a good human being, a good citizen, a responsible digital citizen, and give back to the community around you, and then you'll get everything you need.
Okay. Prof. Kondia, they say the people that get paid the most are the ones that are studying sciences or the STEM subjects. But I've got a bit of an argument, and I'm sure Professor Graham will agree with me and say the world is run by people who've studied humanities or social science. How do we then play around with that one?
All right, thank you. That's a great question, actually, because one of the first questions I get asked by everybody is, am I going to earn a big salary? I know I'm going to earn a big salary when I'm in the STEM subjects. I think before I actually get to that question, maybe the first thing I want to ask our learners and parents is, do we actually know what artificial intelligence is? Because it relates to the future. Actually, we're already in that era of artificial intelligence, and it's such a buzzword. AI this and AI that, but do we know what it is? Do we? No. I'm glad someone said no, because a lot of the times we have these buzzwords that go around and we think if we're part of that buzzword, we've made it. And it's the same with careers. You hear someone say, oh, well, you have to be a neuroscientist and then you've got a lot of money, you're going to earn a lot of money. Or you should go into pharmaceuticals and you'll earn a lot of money. And you can earn a lot of money, but in order for you to earn a lot of money, it's like what Prof. Graham said, you have to work at it. Easy come, easy go. So if you feel you're going to make money at the drop of a hat, it's going to go at the drop of a hat. And in order for you to be financially stable, because that's what you want to work towards, is you need to think about, yes, I'm earning a salary. What am I doing for the future? What am I saving for the future? And that's something very important that we get to learn at university. So it doesn't matter what career you're in. In every career, you have top earners, you have middle earners, and you have low earners. That level where you're at is dependent on how you work. What is your work ethic? How do you brand yourself? How do you show that you're growing and developing? Because if you're someone that doesn't want to grow and develop, you're going to become stagnant at some point. And that is every single career that you take. So that is very important. Now, I just want to come back to the artificial intelligence point and say that in the future, in your future, in my future as well, AI is going to play a huge role. What is AI? AI is the concept of program or language models that take everything that is available on the internet and try and predict what is going to happen. So there are some routine tasks that software can say, yes, we can actually predict what the weather is going to be like in 20 days because we are looking at all the data that has been input into the internet and we can draw a pattern. But the important thing is no matter what career you're in, whether you're in the social sciences or in the STEM field, you need to be able to position yourself to work with AI. You cannot separate yourself from AI. And now everybody feels that they have to be an artificial intelligence specialist or a software analyst or a computer scientist, but that's not the case. We could be seeing, for example, doctors in the future that might be using AI to learn how to observe clinical signs much better than what they did before. They're still using AI, but we still need the doctor to come and tell us there's something wrong with us and you need to take this treatment. We need that human touch. So it's very important that yes, in the back of your mind, because we do have to be realistic, we want a good salary, but a good salary doesn't come easy in any career choice that you make. The other thing maybe I want to say to you is, yes, it is really early for you to be thinking about what you're going to be doing in the next 20 years. When I started off, I knew what I was going to be doing in the next 20 years. Am I doing it? Do you want to know? No. Okay? So unlike Prof. Graham, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. I grew up in that era where it was doctor, engineer, all the usual stuff. I didn't know how many other choices there were. In fact, today there's a lot more choices. I got to university knowing that I was going to do medicine. And in my very first year, I actually kind of detoured, okay? And when I detoured, I found that I enjoyed what I was doing. So what I'm trying to say to you is, even though you choose subjects now, nothing is fixed in stone. There's nothing saying to you that you come to university and maybe you chose the wrong subjects and maybe you're not happy in that field. There is nothing stopping you from ever doing what you want to do if you're passionate about it. So don't feel that this is my one all and be all. There's always flexibility in your life. So making a good choice now is important. And we have so much more information available to us to make those choices. We have parents, we have experts, you have siblings or community members that can guide you. Make use of them, but know that this is not the end of your life. You will grow, you will develop. Some of us grow vertically, some of us grow horizontally. So you might find yourself exploring other things as you move along your journey. And that's what I want to say to you is nothing is fixed. So don't feel that pressure, that immense pressure, that if you choose today, tomorrow you can't change your choice, because you can. I think that's what I want to say.
Right. So, Rashmika, there's a lot of food that has been shared here. But now my confusion comes in to say, too many options, too many choices. How do we make it and bring it together for it to make sense for somebody who's about to choose subjects? You know, what type of things do we really need to do? I mean, I've heard what the two professors and the two grade 9 learners had to say, but how can I then make it about me to go into this journey?
Okay. So I think what you can start off with is asking yourself, because you only know what you have, you can start thinking about the future, but if you can just focus on what's happening in your life, in the present, that will give you some direction. So you're going to get what your parents are advising you, whether it's because they did it, because a sibling did it, because some leader in your family did it and was successful. So you're going to get advice from your parents. You might have teachers that are also advising you. You might want to choose certain subjects because your friends are choosing it. and you're afraid of trying something different. You might be afraid of choosing a subject because you're not particularly doing well in it. I think it's important for you to sit with yourself. We throw around this word happiness, and it might seem like this vague reality for most of us. And a lot of us, even at your age, are stressed and worried and afraid of the future. So sometimes being too future focused just raises those stress levels, makes you anxious, and then you have mental blocks and you feel even more overwhelmed, and you're more likely to then say, okay, I'll do this because my parents said it's good for me, or I'll do this because I want to be with my friend, but you're not really reflecting on yourself. So my advice to you is think about yourself, think about who am I, what contribution do I want to make, whether it's a big contribution. Not everybody wants to make worldwide, huge, global contributions. It could be, a contribution to your family, to yourself. What will make you feel motivated? What will give you that sense of purpose? And where you can say that this matters to me and this is likely to matter to me in the future. As well as just look at your subjects that you're currently doing. How are you performing? Again, honest conversation with yourself. Are you working hard? How do you feel when you're sitting down with maths? And do you absolutely hate it? Or do you feel like if I could focus more, if I was less anxious, if I could get support, maybe I could be good at this and I can perceive a career that needs maths. So yes, the future-focused thinking helps, but be honest with yourself in the moment. And I think starting with yourself allows you to drown out a lot of noise. There is a time and place for mentorship, and that would be your next step. So ask questions, whether it's someone in your community that's doing something you might be interested in, whether you can job shadow, a teacher. But I think it helps to start with yourself, even if it's something as basic as sitting down with a pen and a page and writing down these things and these goals, whether it's goals for third term or for the end of the year. And then you can go broader and then start talking to other people.
Again, you saying these things, are you able to make it real for me? Can I come through to you and we go through this process? Because I want to do engineering, but I don't like maths. Is it really possible? So, I mean, my sisters there, my grade 9 sisters, I mean, all they're interested in is they want to travel the world and let life be, because AI can do things for me. But how do I understand? Is there a process that I need to go through? Visit your services at PsyCAD. Are you able to test me? And what type of test do we need to do?
Yes, so that would be your grade 9 subject choice assessment, as basic as that. Maybe you can also just think about what kind of services you are in need of. Not everybody needs an assessment. Some people have an idea that I'm going to choose maths to keep many doors open anyway. I'm going to choose the subject because I'm interested in it. And maybe you want to understand what, like you said, what do those subjects look like or how they'll be used, whether it's to get into a course in university or in a career field. And that would be more your counseling route, so actually having a chat, and that would be one of the voices I spoke to earlier on. Like I said, teacher, a mentor, your parents, a psychologist, any kind of counselor. But then a career assessment, like I mentioned earlier, is a series of tests. It all happens in a few hours. You'll do the tests. You would contact PsycAD for a career assessment. They would book you a specific day and time. You would do those tests, and then a few weeks later, what we do is we look at your results and we generate a report, and then we call you and we explain the report to you. And really, that's a guideline because the report gives you many options and it can either confirm or deny certain things, and you might follow those options and you might not even want to. It might spark new ideas.
Okay, Professor Graham, can you maybe make it, again, understandable for me? I'm about to get into the subjects that I'm about to choose. What's first year like or university life like?
Okay, so the first year of university is nothing like high school. So you're only in grade 9, and you're probably thinking matric is so far away, and matric is this wonderful thing, and by the time you get to grade 12, you know, it's a rite of passage, and you're the top dog in your institution. You can't wait to be the top dog in your high school. But when you reach the university, you're starting again from scratch, basically. It's a completely new environment. You're no longer set by very specific rules in terms of the bell ringing, so you have to be in class at a certain time. You are free. Don't go to class if you don't want to go to class. It means you won't qualify. You won't get your degree, but it's on you. So you're going to have to become extremely responsible overnight for your lives. Freedom comes with responsibility. So luckily, at institutions like ours, we have so many different student support systems in place to help you on your journey. So you don't feel like you're just dropped in this alien world that's massive and huge and overwhelming. Very specific supports are there as a comfort to help you along your way. So, for example, at UJ, we have a module that you apply. You take it online, and this helps you adjust to the university environment, helps you understand academic language, like what does it mean to participate in a semester of work as opposed to terms. What does a semester mean? What does it mean if you're F7'd? What does that mean? How do you appeal an F7? Strange terms and acronyms you've never heard of before that you'll suddenly face. You don't want to go there. It means bad things. It means you failed and you need to carry on doing better. Come back and do better. So what are these terms? Because it's a different world. It really does feel alien to people. But don't worry about it. Don't be scared. You will be supported. The best thing, I think, is to know that you are driving your own life experience when you get to university. So you are responsible. You must be punctual. You must show up for class. If you don't understand something, it's on you to go to the consulting times of the lecturers or speak to the tutors in your class. Talk to them. It's up to you to go to the library, do the work, do the reading. It's up to you to show up for your exams, write the exams, and pass well. So it's just really about responsibility, and just know that there are people there to support you along the way. So apart from PsycAD, which Rashmika belongs to, which is a support unit for students, there are other support units like the Writing Center that helps you to write essays for humanities subjects, helps you to understand how to formulate things. There are other supports as well in terms of the library, how to look and research things, how to organize your life, time management skills, life skills, all available free of charge to you through ADS, another support division here at UJ. So you have those things in place to assist you, but it really is up to you to make use of those things that are available to you. So the first year is also a rite of passage. It's very exciting, but it's very overwhelming. It's something you can look forward to.
And Kayleen, maybe you can also come in here. Let's think back about 3 weeks ago when you're in grade 9. I just cruised through school. I couldn't be bothered about marks. And would I really be able to make it to whether it's humanities or the sciences? What's your experience so far about the homework, or at least the research that you've made, that you've done regarding getting into university?
I mean, for me, I was always very determined to do well in my academics. So I think that if you work hard, it'll make getting into university much easier, because also here at UJ, which I was very excited about, they have the Orange Carpet program, which if you do well on your matric final exams, they give you a very good discount on your fees. And that was a big motivator for me as well, because university can be expensive, and although they try and offer free services to help you, at the end of the day, the classes themselves cost a good amount, and the least you can do for yourself, for your family, is work hard, because your brain is your #1 tool, and you need to make sure you use it well, and that'll help you get into university, and it will really just make the journey a whole lot easier. And it is easy to just not work in school, leave your projects for the last minute. And I'm not perfect. I did a lot of that too. I didn't do my homework many a time. But again, you must think, what will your future self have wanted from your past self to make your journey into university? And university for you guys might be kind of a faraway thought. At this point, you're just trying to get to grade 10, 11, 12. Matric is still on the horizon for you guys. And if you work now in grade 9, grade 10 will become easier. The adjustment to having, you may have less subjects, but you get way more work in those subjects. But if you work now, you will benefit each new step you take. And eventually, if you come to university and you had fantastic marks, then UJ is very generous and they're willing to reward you for that.
Chantal, can we say the same thing about you? Were you a hard worker? If you were to advise you 3 weeks back, what would you say to yourself?
Well, I wasn't like Caitlin, to be honest. I would definitely, I think for me it was, I took advantage because like many of my teachers would compliment me, telling me that I'm very smart, and then like my marks were really good. So I kind of relaxed and just like, there were times whereby I would have a test maybe on Friday and I wouldn't study for the whole week, and then only just do a little recap on Thursday and tell myself that, you know what, I've got this. But then when my marks came back, they were terrible. So, and then I was like, they were not really that terrible. So I was like, I'm still good. So yeah, I can relax a bit. But then the advice that I would give to me is that, well, looking at myself today, I regret not taking all those opportunities of studying and being as determined as Caitlin was. I mean, I wish that I did like take those opportunities. I wish that I pushed myself even more. I wish that I studied even more. Like, so my advice would be to myself that I should take every opportunity that I get to study, to push myself to become the best version of myself.
Prof. Kondia, your department, your field is very competitive. Now, if we get the likes of Chantal, who's just they're coasting along, and life is life. Perhaps you could tell us, what does it take to get into the science stream?
Thank you for that. So we do have students like Chantal. But at UJ and in our Faculty of Science, we have two kinds of degrees. We have the 3-year degree for those students that are sitting at a bit of a higher level. So they're the ones that really excel, and they can complete a 3-year degree. But we also have something called an extended degree, which is a 4-year degree, and that's how we cater to students who may consider themselves the average student and might not be the high flyers, because we do get the high flying and we do get those that are working consistently. So what we do at the Faculty of Science is that if we see that you have potential and you might not have qualified with a high enough score for the 3-year degree, we actually place you in what we call the extended degree, because what we like to do is to give you every opportunity. We'd like to give you every opportunity to walk out of UJ with a degree, because we feel each and every one of you is very capable of doing that. So we actually have these programs in place, which means that in your first year of university, we sort of split the content over 2 years and give you additional support. And this, in conjunction with units like the ADS, where Prof. Graham is the senior director of, in relation to ICAD as well, where Rashmika is from. And so we try and support you as best as we can to get you through the first year with a lot of support and allow you to join the other degree students as we move along. So we do have those kinds of options. And the reality is that, for one, is if you ever have the privilege, which you will if you join UJ, because we're here to support you to get your degree, at graduation, one of the most important statistics that gets announced at graduation is that UJ receives, 700,000 applications for a spot at university, and we can only offer about 10,200. So from 700,000, you want to be one of those lucky, hard-working people that land up at UJ. And it's not just the UJ situation. It's actually every institution, every university in South Africa that faces the same challenge. So if you think about the probability, and sorry, I'm bringing maths in here, but you have a 1 in 700,000 chance of getting into the university because we have 700,000 applications. Well, actually not 1, it's 10,000 over 700,000. So it's quite intense if you think about it. So you want to make sure that you start working hard from now so that you don't only get into UJ or another university, but we want you to come here. I mean, we're the best. We're the great University of Johannesburg. So we want you here, and we want to reward you for your hard work. As Kaylin said, we have the orange carpet. So if you come through with a really great matric mark, we actually discount your fees. We support you with textbooks and stationery and all other things. But not only that, if you continue to work hard in your first year and you score really well, we give you a discount again the following year. And if you work hard in your second year, we give you another discount. So every time you work really hard and you work well and you score above 75% in your subjects, you actually get a discount from UJ. And that really helps your parents as well. So think about it. Don't just be the student that says, I just want to get 50 and walk out of here. Be the person that says, I want to excel and walk out of here. Because the other thing to remember is when you leave here, there are 10,000 other people leaving here to get the same jobs that you are interested in. So it's highly competitive out there. The reality is we don't have jobs for everyone. So you want to put yourself a cut above the rest. And the first step to doing that is to join UJ.
Thanks a lot, Prof. Rashmika, I'm a sports guy. And me and academics, we're not on the same WhatsApp group. What advice do you have for somebody like myself?
So getting a degree is not the only route to success in life. I think whichever pathway you take, you want to think of the broader future, not just in terms of I want to do this, but the practicality of it and what it could look like. So that's where speaking to others who are in a similar field would come into play, and finding the pathway for that. So you would need a bachelor's pass to get into university anyway. And even with a bachelor's pass, because a bachelor's pass, I think you just need to get 50% in 4 of your chosen subjects, pass your language, pass your maths, pass life orientation. And really, having that bachelor's pass is often not enough to just get into university because it's very competitive, like previous speakers have said. So not everybody, even if you get that bachelor's pass, but not everybody gets the bachelor's pass, not everybody even wants it. So start thinking about those things, and if you do want the bachelor's pass, then you do want to work towards it and set goals. But if you don't, think about where you want to find yourself, and is there a mentor you can access, and think about why you want to find yourself in that space. Speak to professionals, whether it's a counselor or a psychologist, a teacher, anyone in the field, anyone in your community again, and think about the sustainability of it, how it can support you in the future.
Thank you. Just before I give the rest of the other audience an opportunity to ask us questions, maybe I should ask Chantal, is there anything that you'd like us to clear out that we didn't cover? Perhaps you'd like us to cover?
So actually, I wanted to ask, in terms of the orange carpet, let's say a student like me who like cruises by, who doesn't like to study, and then let's say maybe my matric results are not that great. Is it possible for me, like when I'm in varsity and then I start telling myself that, you know what, I need to pull up my socks, like would it be possible that if maybe, let's say I do really well in my first year, that I'm able to get maybe admitted into the orange carpet?
I can actually take that one. So yes, but then you'd be part of the Eugenius Club here at UJ. So first your orange carpet, then you lead into Eugenius, which is Eugenius, for second year, third year, fourth year, and again, benefits for all the subjects you get over 75, discounts in your fees, etc. But it's more than that, because the Eugenius Club is like a little genius community of thinking people who are invited to prestigious events, and more importantly, to networks, so that you can already start thinking about your future bosses in the industry one day. You meet them at a cocktail event here at UJ, you swap your digital business cards already, you get to know them, you swap life stories, and you're already making a connection. So being part of the Eugenius Club is a way to set you up just a kind of step above everybody else in the community, to make sure that there's a cemented relationship with the external communities here at UJ. So if you're coming to UJ, come in as an orange carpet and set your sights on being a Eugenius student right through to the end, and then you're set, basically.
Thanks, Professor Graham. I was going to try and answer that, but I think you've said a mouthful, so I'm not going to. Kaylin, anything from your side?
Nothing that no one has covered. Like, I think everyone said just the perfect amount, but I will say that this time that you're in now, anything you learn is not going to sabotage you. Like, the world is hard enough. You don't need to sabotage yourself by giving up on your lessons, giving up on your work, because it might just not be like, you might not feel like it. You don't need to sabotage yourself. You must work hard because it will benefit you. Every single subject I did had benefits somewhere along the way. Even if the subject itself wasn't to my liking, I may have met a teacher who I was like, that's a good teacher, and who I might strive to be like in the future. Every single part of your life, up till the point you're at now, has composed of who you are as a person, and it will keep being like that up until the end. And you want to make sure that you give yourself the best opportunity possible. You need to really make the most out of every moment. And if you're an academic person, you must buckle down and study, because it will benefit you. And high school also, besides the academics, you must enjoy it because it really helps grow those interpersonal relationships and talk to your peers about what subjects they're taking, because it is really eye-opening to see, wow, people are so different. They can go so many different directions. And when you come to university, the community that you'll find is really special. Like, compared to my primary school, high school experiences, coming to university is really something to look forward to in terms of the people you'll meet, the lecturers. Everyone just feels like they're on the same page. So definitely work hard now so that come university time, you have set yourself up perfectly well.
Rashmika, if I listen to my two sisters at the end there, they spoke about this and that, but I'm only choosing this subject because there's this cool chick, cool guy, like a teacher. Is it really a great thing for me if I really want to become that orange carpet learner that we spoke about?
No, because only you are living your life. And you might not like that person next year or 2 years down the line, and you'll have to be in class with them because you'll be stuck in that subject. Same with the teacher. You might not want to choose a subject because you feel like you don't like that teacher, the teacher's not good, the teacher's picking on you, but teachers can find other jobs, they might leave. And then you're kind of putting that teacher in the driver's seat for the rest of your life. So, I mean, if we are advising you not to just do what your parents say if it doesn't feel right for you, I would advise you to be even more cautious with your peers because they are your age group and they are learning. And they have a lot of valuable information to share, a lot of different life experiences. And if the information they're giving you is valuable, then great, utilize it. But if you just like them or feel comforted by them, I would caution you, as much as that emotional well-being is very important. Relationships, if it's a good relationship and if you like that person, you can still be friends with them or pursue them in any way without picking that subject.
Thank you. Prof. Kondia, what are the things that I should look forward to as a grade 9 learner coming to UJ? I know you spoke highly about why science? Why STEM? As we close off.
Okay, so I think the first thing that I'll say is why science, why STEM? It's because we're crazy fun and we love what we do. You know that term, mad scientists, that's how we see ourselves. We play around, we innovate, we do a lot of amazing things. And the one thing about STEM subjects or being in the STEM faculty is that we are really, really passionate about what we do. And we start off from first year looking at the potential in our students. And we support you right through. The other thing that we do quite frequently is we don't only teach you about the academics, but we also teach you about important tools that you will need in the world of work and all about being a global citizen. So we teach you about being conscious of the environment, for example. We teach you about financial sustainability. We teach you about being ethical and responsible citizens. And we also have a lot of ties to industry. So what we can do for you is we can allow you the opportunity, or rather we afford you the opportunity to meet experts from industry because we have these ties with them. They come over, they give you lectures, they connect with you, they take your details, they see someone that has a lot of potential, and they get offered jobs. So coming to the Faculty of Science gives you almost a vision into what your future could be like. We are a great faculty. We have amazing staff. Our academics are experts, and our faculty officers are real nurturers. I don't think you will be wrong. You will choose wrong if you come to the Faculty of Science. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in the Faculty of Science. I've actually had many experiences where our students have felt comfortable enough to come and chat to us about anything. And even though I may have this fancy title, I have my own students in my own research group. I have students that I teach in second year, in first year, in third year, who walk up to me and tell me their entire life story and say, and we just have that relationship. And I think that's something that we like to build on because we see ourselves as a unit, a support structure for you to walk out of here as a successful individual.
Thank you very much, Prof. Kondia. And lastly, Professor Graham, your parting words for those that wants to join your social science stream. What can you say to us?
Okay, I think it's also important to recognize, before I go into social sciences, that outside of social sciences and science, there are also law subjects that you can take, education subjects, business subjects, health sciences. So we're talking about two different specific faculties, but the subjects within those will help you in your decision now in grade 9 to qualify for qualifications in any of these faculties here at UJ. So taking social science subjects now might mean that you're an excellent law student here at UJ one day, or a teacher, an education student here one day. Or you might want to take social science subjects that help teach you how to be an organized person that can think logically and critically and predict things in the future and create scenarios for yourself so that you can become an entrepreneur and build your own business in the future. So I think the key thing is, there's also the important thing to recognize that there are qualifications here in UJ that straddle both science and social science. So for example, the Politics, Economics and Technology degree, the BA PETS, looks at technology and economics and politics. And that's a good all-rounder qualification for you to dabble in computer science, software, data analytics, robotics, AI, as well as economics, as well as governance in politics. So your interests might span a number of different things, and we cater for all those things. Isn't that a wonderful thing to think about? So the future really is yours. Grab it while you can now, and just think big, dream big. You can make it happen, and there are so many supports along the way. You'll feel comfortable the whole time. So I think my parting words really just try not to worry too much about the future as you're making your choices now in grade 9. Just try and be open to it. Go with your gut, and everything will work out.
Thanks a lot. Without taking the shine away, can we please thank our panelists? I think this has been a platform that most of us would definitely have benefited from. And I don't think you would have had this discussion the way we did between yourself and mom and dad and so forth. For those of us that had pens and paper to write notes, and I know we love technology, there's some of us who are recording, I hope you will definitely benefit from this chat. Before I close off, do we have any pressing questions? I'll give an opportunity for 3 questions, please. Okay. There's question number 1.
What if you're good in maths and other subjects are just fine? Like...
Okay, I did not get that question. Please repeat yourself.
What if you're good in maths and other subjects are just fine, and you want to be a professor or, yeah.
Okay, if I heard correctly, and please correct me if I did not get your question correctly. I like maths, I'm okay with it, but I want to become a professor. Is that fine?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, my personal experience is I did pure maths right till matric because my father was a metallurgist and insisted I take maths. I didn't have a choice. I hated maths. I got something like 56% for maths in grade 12, which was horrible because I'm a perfectionist and got A's for everything else. And maths was my worst subject. Then I came to university, didn't take maths in anything, and now I'm a full professor. So just take from that what you will.
Thank you very much. Question number 2. You're competing with the kids. I don't know whether I should give you the mic or not.
Good day, everyone. No, I'd just like to appreciate what the UJ is doing. But I've noticed one thing, that UJ never talk about the negative part. And this is very brilliant and great. But those negative parts, when kids are coming, they're not doing well. They are falling in drugs. They are falling in things that they make them not to pursue their future anymore. If next time when you are doing these seminars, can we also add those departments that are dealing with such behavior in a kid, so that they can know that UJ has got also that supporting system when the kids are not doing well.
Thanks a lot. Rashmika, that's your department. Can I ask you to please help this?
Okay, I can kind of respond to that. I can echo what was said earlier on, that there's a lot of support structures at UJ. Of course, the problem is whether or not students are able to ask for help, so to say, on time. But what happens is they're failing in their first semester, they'll get a warning anyway, and then there's conditions attached, like visiting support structures. Then my department that I work in, I'm a psychologist, and I work at PsychAd. And we assist with things like addiction. We have psychologists, we have social workers. So there's like a range of things, whether it's therapy, support groups, or information sharing sessions. So there are support structures, and when it's that first week of orientation, PsychAd and the different support divisions goes and has chats to students during the first year orientation. So hopefully those students that attend their first year orientation, they also are made aware in that first week of us.
Can I add to that as well? So Rishmika is speaking from a support unit side, but I can also speak from a faculty point of view. Is we actually have initiatives in place where we already track and monitor our students from day one. So what we do is we follow, for example, as we said, when it comes to university, there's no bell to say, it's time to come to class. But we follow attendance, because one of the key indicators of low performance, for example, would be non-attendance of lectures. So we start off and we track our students to say, are they attending class? We look at their performance when we give them assessments or assignments. And from there, we're already following our students individually. And so when we pick up that a student might not be performing as well as they should, we already start to place interventions. We engage with them. We offer them extra tutorials. We send them to the correct support units if they're having any kind of wellness issues or health issues or emotional or social issues or writing issues. We direct them to the correct units. So we do track our student progress.
Sorry, can I just add one thing as well? It's very important what you're saying, because these psychosocial problems all of our students face on a daily basis. Just, for example, having access to food. Our students in university can't all afford food every day. So we have to try and support our students with meal assistance plans and those types of things. A student can't write a test if they're starving and their brain can't focus. These are very real life situations. So I'm so glad you brought this up. It's true. On a daily basis, we have to look after all of our students' needs in a holistic way. It's not just about the academic side of things. It's about their entire experience at university. So thank you for raising it.
Thanks a lot. Guys, can I just ask, let's be patient. Please keep quiet, because you may benefit from the questions. All right. Your day in the sun is coming.
Okay, so I'm from Waverley High School, and I have a question. Let us say that an individual, such as myself, I'm speaking from self-experience, has attachment issues and is afraid of disappointing their parents, and has somewhat of an interest in two subjects that do not that cannot correlate. My favorite subjects are math and CA, and that's what I'm good in. And those two subjects, they don't really have careers that can merge them together. What do I do then if I would like to get into a career that includes science and something that includes creativity?
I think just pick your grade 9 subjects that would allow for you to go into both those careers. So keep as many doors open, as broad as possible. So you can look at the UJ prospectus booklet, for example, and when you look at different courses for university, it will tell you what subjects are mandatory. So make sure you're picking those subjects now in grade 9. And like an earlier speaker said, you won't know for sure what career you want to get into. And even if you do know for sure, by the time you get to matric or first year, you might change your mind anyway. And as you go along, that's when you'll start exploring options. Eventually, you are going to make a decision, and like was mentioned earlier, some people grow vertically and some horizontally. So you might get a degree and realize that you want to do something different. If opportunities allow, you can always later in life then get another degree or a postgrad or do a research study in that subject that you're interested in.
But I also just wanted to add that, at least for the Faculty of Science, the nice thing about UJ is that the courses are very customizable, I found. So when I was picking what degree I was going to do, I could see, I can pick between zoology and biochemistry, or biochemistry and physics. There were so many options, and I really appreciated that because it allowed me to pick what I would enjoy, but could also give me a broad view of the entire Faculty of Science, not just do physics only, because I don't want to limit myself to one thing. I want to do so many things. And when you combine your subjects, you meet your lecturers as well, and you see, wow, they went down such interesting paths that I had no idea were even possible. And you really learn a lot, not just academically, but from the actual lecturers themselves, from their life stories. So I think if you keep your options open, for sure, when you're picking subjects, just pick the ones that leave as many doors for you as possible. And when you come to university, I would recommend UJ as well, because it allows you to do a similar thing again.
My question is that if I really like doing maths and I'm good at business studies, for example, economics, so when choosing my subjects for next year, should I do the subjects that I'm good at, or should I do the subjects that I love?
Okay, so if I heard correctly, you like mathematics and you like business and economics. Am I correct? Correct. Okay, great. So Unfortunately, today we don't have someone here from our College of Business and Economics, but I think that would be a great place for you, is in our CBE faculty, because those are the exact subjects that you would require to be a part of that, of the college. So if you're interested in, for example, business management or economics or entrepreneurship, that's essentially where you would want to apply to. So those are great subjects. You could go into CBE. The other is you could actually, if you are interested in science, you could actually join the Faculty of Science, because we do have a BSc in Mathematical Sciences. And that's where you can actually do something like statistics, mathematical sciences, computer sciences, and you're looking at things like investments, actuarial science. So those are all relatable subjects. So the choice is yours, and I would encourage you to maybe go onto the UJ website and look at the College of Business and Economics, and then also look at the Faculty of Science, the BSc in Mathematical Sciences. I think that would be great for you.
Thanks, Prof. Kondia. The last 3 questions. So it's 1, 2, and then 3 here. And then, okay. And then, those of us that still wants their questions answered, obviously, after the session, there will be still people to answer those questions. But remember, not all of us wants to be here. So that's why I'm giving opportunities to the last 3 individuals. Is that fair? All right. I knew you'd say no.
Good afternoon. I'm from Waverley Girls High School, and I have a question. Is it possible for me to learn healthcare or health science in UJ?
Yes, so there is a Faculty of Health Sciences here at UJ, which has a range of different qualifications attached to it, from nursing through to radiography to a whole bunch of things. So yes is the short answer. Health Sciences is available here, and please check, like Prof. Kondaya said, the website. You can actually look at the requirements already, entrance requirements, minimum entrance requirements for health sciences, and all the different fields you can go into, including paramedics, etc. We have one of the best paramedic centers, the only one in Africa actually at the moment, that actually has a wonderful room you can go into that simulates massive waves and a helicopter that comes across. You can actually practice what it would be like to fish somebody out of the sea and save their lives. So we have wonderful facilities for health sciences. It's definitely there. And hopefully at some point also access to a medical program in our future. So let's cross our fingers there. So yes, health sciences is available at UJ.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm from Space Age Independent School. So my question is in relation to 2 things I'm good at. So I'm basically good at biology and chemistry, for example. And then I also have an interest in geography and history, also foreign studies, for example. And I told my parents growing up that I'd become a medical doctor. And now I'm looking at how I've changed from then. And now I'm more, I don't know how to tell them how I feel, but I also don't know what subjects to take now. Thank you.
I can take that question. So I like the diverse interests that you have. That's really great. And one of the things about UJ, as Prof. Graham said, is that we actually do cater to those kinds of multidisciplinary interests. So in the Faculty of Science, okay, yes, you're not going to be a medical doctor, but you can still stay within the science field. We do have BSc degrees where you can opt to do, for example, something like biochemistry and geography or environmental studies. So we do have a department that is called Geography and Energy Studies and Environmental Management that ties in with your geography. and your foreign studies, for example, because they speak about regulation, environmental impact, and that covers, the whole world. And then you can also bring in your biochemistry or your chemistry or even zoology to tie in with that. So you do have an option in science to take those two majors. So we call them majors because you will specialize in those two particular areas. The nice thing about the BSc in the Faculty of Science is that the first year is very generic. So you do the biology, you do the chemistry, you do the physics, you do the maths, and once you start getting into your second year, that's where you can now make a choice on what to specialize in. So you do have that flexibility. If you don't know yet where you fall into, you do your first year, which is pretty generic, and then you can decide, okay, well, I want to specialize in environmental studies and biochemistry. And then maybe just a little bit of advice in terms of maybe talking to your parents, speaking to them, is you could actually do some research and find out about this degree and what are the options in terms of careers. And then you can speak to them and say, maybe I don't want to be a medical doctor, but this is a really great equivalent and it's something that I'm passionate about. And I would like for you to consider me actually moving into this kind of field. And have a conversation. Your parents will probably go and look into it and see what it's all about. And then you can have a really great conversation around it.
Last question.
Good afternoon, the house. Good afternoon to the house at its fullest capacity and my very educated professors. I would like to ask, as a person who really has passion for politics, and I'm extremely bad at history, I can't even tell you my marks, then I am very, very good at science subjects because I'm inspired by my brother who did metallurgy. So what should I choose? Because I heard one of you guys speaking about taking a look into your passions and your happiness. So what can I do?
Okay, so why don't you put those two together and take the subject political science, which we have here at UJ.
I beg your pardon?
We have a subject here at UJ called political science.
Please elaborate.
So maybe you should merge your two passions in one.
Merge them.
So basically, I took political science as my background. And it involves so many different types of things. But at the end of the day, you can move into things like advocacy. You can work for the government in various industries that are linked, like science industries, mining industries, et cetera, so it depends on what Prof. Kandaya was saying is true. So even if you took political science, it's generic in year one. You're basically introduced to every possible avenue within that overarching discipline. And then by year two, you can choose specifics that you'd like to focus on within your qualification. So if you want to rather go into something like international relations, not local politics, but you want to be a foreign minister one day or work as a diplomat or an ambassador or an aide or something like that, you can take that stream right through honors up through masters into your doctorate. Or you can go stick with local governance, take public management and governance as a second major and look at provincial politics and things like that. But within the flexible BA, you can also take maths, for example, which is in science as a faculty, pure maths, or economics, which is outside of our faculty, because with the flexible BA, you have choices outside of the social sciences, so you can bring in other avenues to help expand your interests and your future potential career paths, whatever they may be. So I think investigate the flexible BA on the UJ website and see what other options, like, for example, the young lady over there had an interest in geography. Geography you can take as well as history and politics here at UJ in the flexible BA. And take a career in urban planning, for example, where all those three things mix and merge on a daily basis. So I think at the end of the day, try not to limit yourself by saying you can only do one or the other. Why can't you do both and have interest in both and feed both and be a very well-rounded person? Think like that.
Maybe I can give you an example. So I had a student that did an honors degree with me in biotechnology. And after she completed her honors, she actually wanted to become a lawyer she wanted to become a patent lawyer in biotechnological products. So she first did her honors in biotechnology, and then she went on to do a law degree to qualify to be a patent lawyer who dealt specifically in the science environment. So you can see how diverse those two are, but at some point they do come together. So you can think about options like that as well.
Thank you very much. So, takeaways. The importance of speaking to the right people regarding your subject choices, and what will those subjects mean to you in the end. And yes, think about what you're trying to explore in terms of careers, and let it make sense. You've heard exactly how to go about doing these things. And don't just feel that, or at least overwhelmed. There's always help. Contact us, uj.ac.za. I know you know the 3 W's, but I'll say it again. The 3 W's.uj.ac.za. You'll be able to find all of us there, whether it's departments, whether it's faculties, whether it's PsyCAD, whether it's student life, we're there. With those few words, now that's at least our famous hour. We'd like to thank you for being in attendance. We hope it has been a great day for you. Good luck. Travel safely. We thank you. Goodbye.